How's it going, guys? Today I wanted to talk about competition, what it means, how we can enjoy it better, and then how competition can also just make our lives overall enhanced. So the word competition, I was just learning about, in the Latin root comes from together we rise. So that is such a phenomenal thing. Like, you're thinking about, two groups or multiple people like competing, and you rise up from that. Essentially, you get better through competition. I can shoot baskets all day. I can run all day, and it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But where it really can enhance and go to a whole nother level is when you have someone that's trying to block your shot, or you're trying to stop them, or someone's trying to run a little bit faster or do this a little bit faster. You don't have to see that opponent as the enemy. You can see it as we're helping each other. I'm on my run, I'm cruising along, and someone's just a little bit faster, and it's like, I'm gonna try to keep up with them, and end of the race, they win, they beat you, and you don't get all sad, oh, they're better than me, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna push a little bit harder. I'm gonna try to keep up with that person. Find someone who's just a little bit above you, and always continue to get better and improve. So that's what the word competition means. That's a whole nother insight. And when I talk to people about why I love competing and how I love competing, usually people kind of look at me a little funny. They're like, you're in your mid-30s. Why do you like competing? You're weird. That's what you do when you're in elementary, junior high, and high school, and then you stop competing. Because I have seen competition get the best of me. So examples in my life is I had a really, really good friend I met in the first grade. His name is Nelson Zaludek. He was the smartest kid in school, and I was, the best basketball player, a good athlete at the school. And he was always a little bit smarter than me. I was always a little bit better than him at basketball, but we really pushed each other. Like, he got 100%, I got 90, 91%, and I was always striving to get to his level, and he was always striving to get to my level. And we really pushed each other, competed in a healthy way that made each other better. And fortunately, I had that in college, and I have it today with some great friends as well. And I think it's a very healthy way to compete that takes us back to the root word. Remember, together we rise. And, in some parts of the world, we have this very toxic competitiveness where we literally hate the opponent. We're rude, we do dirty things, we do shameful things that we're not proud of because they beat us last time, so it can also show us our character too. If we lose a game or lose a match and we can't shake their hands, we get upset and we pout. That shows us that, are we really competing with that healthy mindset? Because that's, I believe, the way we should see competition. And then I also wanted to talk about an example. Like right now we're in the FIFA World Cup, and many people are watching Norway do so well. They're into the final 8 teams right now in the quarterfinals. And they just beat Brazil, who's one of the top, ever, countries in football. And, their mindset in Norway is, that sport is fun. That when you are challenging yourself, it just makes you a, better overall, sharper, athletic person in life. And you don't have all this extra pressure, oh my gosh, we're going to shame the country if we lose. I'm going to shame these people if I don't compete well. Well, all of that negative, it's too much stress. It takes the fun, it takes the play out of games. Why did we start playing football? Why did we start playing basketball, whatever sport you love? It started because, hey, we want to have some fun. We're kicking this ball around, trying to score it in the net. Someone guards me and, they stop me, and now we start competing. But we always have to go back to, we started this game, we started playing because it's fun. So don't lose that sight. Personal example for me, I put so much pressure on myself with basketball. I wanted to go play Division 1, and I could see that I was quite a bit below that level, and I just would get more and more tense, like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure, like I'm not going to actually reach my goals. And then I wouldn't play as well. I'd get tight when I'd be shooting free throws, and I'd miss a free throw in a game when I could easily hit 20 in a row on my own. And it was because of all that pressure that I was putting on myself. And I had a great assistant coach at the time came up and was like, Jesse, I can see you're not having fun, and it looks like it's life and death. And I was like, it is life and death. He's like, what do you mean it's life and death? You have a great family, you get really good grades, you have a good education. Like, even if you don't go play Division I, it's not life and death. You're not gonna die because you went 2 for 10 from the field and had 5 turnovers. Like, you're gonna still live. Same thing, you're competing now. You have this goal of like finishing on the podium at your Spartan race, High Rocks race, and you don't make it. Is life over? No, it's not. Life's gonna keep going. So now going into a race, like I have a Spartan race tomorrow, and yeah, sure, I'd love to be on the podium. That'd be a super cool thing. But if I don't make it, it's not the end of the world. So there's no sense of being tight. There's no sense of like losing sleep over it. Like, I can sleep knowing like this is going to be fun. This is going to be an enjoyable process for me. So as I'm going into my race tomorrow and I'm competing, I'm not even gonna think about, if I finish in the top 3 or where I finish. I'm just gonna go out and do my best. A phrase that I like to use is called let it rip. So to me, what that means when I say let it rip is like, hey, we're gonna go and have some fun. We're gonna do this. We're get into that flow state. We're gonna enjoy it. Yeah, we're gonna push ourselves, but we can relax. If our heart rate's a little high on a hill, we can be like, I'm just gonna hike this hill. Do my best on it, instead of like, oh my gosh, what if I slow down? What if someone passes me and they go in front of me? So I just go out and say, hey, I'm just gonna do my best. Let it rip. That's a combination of doing your best, having fun. And if you do that, trust your training. Like I have put in the training, the strength training. I've put in the conditioning. I've eaten healthy. I've done my best in that regard, and that's what it's about. So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to, try to see competing, the word compete, in that healthy sense that together we rise. So figure out where you want to compete next. Maybe it's in a chess tournament. Maybe it's in a race. Who knows? Let me know. I'd love to hear where you guys are going to compete next. You guys have a good one.